What doesn't seem addicting, but really is? My phone? Sometimes I get bored scrolling through Reddit and I want to put my phone down, but I can't. It's awful and I hate that feeling so much. Having people laugh at your jokes. Sugar? Jack in it. Flaming hot Cheetos. I'm convinced they put addictive chemicals in potato chips and Cheetos. Weed. Too many people say they can quit at any time and never do. Reddit. Warm shower. Picking your skin. Energy drinks. Minecraft, Reddit, YouTube. Gaming by far, you don't realize until you're staying up till 4 in the morning playing a game. Getting them upvotes. Lock-picking. Phone. Microtransactions in video games. They're literally designed to entice those with literal gambling addictions. Going in a downward spiral. I'm addicted to my own demise. Pornography, video games, social media. Minecraft. Cynicism. Cleaning. Sugar? If you were drinking your tea with it, and then tried without, you're gonna feel bad about it for a first dozen of cups. Gum. Caffeine. Shopping. Goldfish crackers. Pornography. Eating. Hiding cheese. It all started to protect it, but it got so out of hand. ASMR. Why is everyone saying addicting? It's weird. Porn. Chiropractor YouTube. Phones. Video games. Coffee. As someone who used to smoke cigarettes and drink heavily, I'd happily give up nicotine before coffee. Social acceptance. Self-harm. Edit, 31 upvotes. Wow. Skyrim or Fallout. Self-destructive behaviors, like commenting on Reddit posts when you should be doing your grad school assignments. Debt. Once you get into it, it's hard to get out. Lying in bed. All I can think about is a chance to do noting in bed. Exercise. Some people get hooked on the endorphins, and exercise to the point where it actually starts harming their health. Social media. My mom banned me from using my phone because I was becoming super distracted by it and isolating myself. So, naturally as a 15-year-old I lashed out, kept sneaking it, kept lashing out, would dwell on it when I didn't have it and was generally horrible. I was so angered that she said I had an addiction, I denied it, then I snuck my phone and she found me hunched over somewhere in a dark corner of the house with it in my hands. This happened multiple times over the course of a week. Right after one of these incidents we continued watching Lord of the Rings, and the movie it highlighted Gollum/Smeagol's addiction to the ring. I was traumatized to see how ironically clear the correlation was. I'm skinny and white to add to that, and that night I vowed to take a week without any internet access. I'm back now and feeling much less addicted, and I'm enjoying music much more than Reddit, but it's comforting to have my precious back, my dear. Wonderful. Precious. TL, Doctor, we both loves, and hates it. Chips, potato, Dorito, Pringle. You name it? You're normally just sitting there munching them and silently tell yourself one more chip. You eat it and say it again, well, one more won't hurt. And this cycle tends to continue until you either snap out of it or the chips are gone. Sugar? Ever put a teaspoon of sugar in your coffee? Ever have the temptation to buy a chocolate bar at a grocery/convenience store? Ever ate a lot more sweets than you expected from the bag? Sugar is extremely addictive, and chances are at least half of the people reading this are addicted without them knowing. Crusader Kings 2. Starts slow and seems boring, but once you get that ball rolling you don't know what's going on 10 hours later, except at some point you ran a crusade for Spain while having a secret affair with your aunt, you're pissed you have 5 daughters and 0 sons, the Pope loves you while your uncle hates you, and your brother is a huge gum. Once it loses its flavor, you want another. Once that one loses its flavor, you want another, etc. Real talk caffeine. I know so many mfers who talk shit up and down about Narcan programs and needle exchanges taking bout why don't they just make better choices. But God help us all if they don't get their 12 Diet Cokes a day. Shoplifting. As an ex-shoplifter, I've gotta say, it's such a rush and is so fun. Until you realize that you're just doing it because it's easy. Adrenaline leads to dopamine leads to happy leads to forgetting how sad you are because your anger issues push all of your friends away so you feel worthless, and like a lost cause. I might have lost myself typing that, yikes. Coffee. I'm a total Java junkie. If I don't have some I do get withdrawals. Usually a severe headache, fatigue, and irritable. Until I go to my local grocery store to get a fix. I do abuse it, at least 1 pot a day. I just can't help it, I love my black crack. Pete's Major Dickerson's is by far my favorite. Alcohol. Yeah, of course, we all know there are alcoholics. But it never seems something that could happen to you. I'm not the kind of person to pick up addictions easily, and I tried tons of stuff, but alcohol is definitely the dangerous one. A lot of it is circumstances. I was on a gap year with some savings while living in a cheap country, just basically enjoying a long tropical holiday. But the habit of partying and drinking can really catch up to you. At some point our whole group was going out 4 to 5 times a week and getting wasted in the process. When you're that used to socializing under influence it gets pretty boring to be sober. Really took some effort to cut down on that. Now I barely drink anymore because I'm bored of it again, so I wouldn't consider myself a former alcoholic that always longs for those days, but it's definitely a treacherous thing. Cutting. I struggled and still struggle with breaking the habit. Yes, it hurts, it's ugly, messy, and heartbreaking, but a lot of people feel comforted by it. It's very cathartic, unfortunately, especially when the people who do it feel there's no help or comfort to find anywhere else. Gaming. Gambling, energy drinks, lean, cocaine, weed. Speaking as a 58-year-old man, it beats the hell out of Viagra, also naps at 3 p.m. Forgot to mention coffee. Juuls. I know it's super apparent now how addictive nicotine is and how bad vaping and juuling is, but I grew up in that weird in-between generation where they only pressed on you how bad cigarettes were because of the carcinogens and tobacco, and never really taught us how addictive vaping and nicotine was, and my generation/grade didn't realize when we started how bad we were all gonna get addicted. Technically almost everything can be addicting, but definitely sugar. There's added sugar in almost everything you eat. Of course, it's not the most harmful addiction, but it certainly is more addicting than a lot of common drugs. People who go off sugar for health or weight purposes can testify. You feel like shit the first few days, but then you feel a lot better, just physically. Natural sugars are okay though.